So why is the boring finance guy all of a sudden making a video about cheap phones to actually buy? The answer is, it's because I know that every single year people are basically marketed to buy the next iPhone 14 or to buy the next S22 Samsung Galaxy. Like, names are getting out of control at this point. The Pixel 7, we're gonna have the iPhone 55 pretty soon. The answer is, it just gets out of control, but every single year people are being influenced to spend more money on the next device that's faster by 10% and has a little better camera, and everyone thinks all of a sudden that they are a photographer and need to spend thousands of dollars, not thousands, more like 1,000, 1,200 for a phone every single year. And in reality, that makes no sense, and that's why I'm making this video. Now, I don't want to be a hypocrite. And here's why. Because right now I have an iPhone 14 Max, and before you click off this video, I want you to know, the last time I had a phone, it was basically an iPhone XX Max that I bought for like under $200. I fixed it for like 50 bucks, the back screen, and basically it was a solid phone, and I kept it for literally like 4 to 5 years. So this is the next phone I recently bought, and the only reason I bought it was because it was my reward for becoming debt-free, and I chose to buy an iPhone. And by the way, is it that much better than my iPhone XX Max? The answer is, in a way, it really is, okay? So you have a better screen, you have a better camera, a lot better camera, and you also have a much better battery life. So overall, does that make it worth it? The answer is, of course not. I could have done that with an iPhone 12 or an iPhone 11 Pro. Anything would have been an upgrade for me because I came from such an old phone, okay? That's the truth. But in this video, what I really want to give you guys is options, and I want to give you guys a strategy. I call this the Flagship Strategy, and it basically means there is a way to buy pretty good phones at a cheap price. And I'm talking about to get them for around 60 to 80% off. And yeah, these are real legitimate phones. It's not, for example, buying a phone that has all the cracks on it, super dirty, just a terrible battery life. No, it's real legitimate phones. They're flagships like the iPhones, the Samsungs, like, you know, the nice phones, the Pixels out there. But there's a specific method. There's a specific method to actually do it to make sure you save a ton of money, okay? So that is what this video is about. And I'm making it because I want to save you guys money. So if this is money you don't spend, it's money you can go ahead and invest. And that's also very important for me. Now, as always, guys, like this video. On top of that, also subscribe, hit the bell to get notified. Now, the very first thing I want to mention is this. I read this book. It's called The Art of War. Now, all of a sudden, I think I'm like what's it called? We call those people a commander now, okay? So, in The Art of War, they're talking about when you have an enemy, you want to know exactly what your enemy's weaknesses actually are, and you want to know exactly how to exploit it. Now, my enemy is the phone companies, and I know they have 3 weak points. Number one, they're making an asset. That's not really a liability. An asset that depreciates. That basically means it loses value every single year. On top of that, they make a new one every single year, which basically means it makes the depreciation process happen even faster because every single year there's a new one. So now you have the old one, which has to be worth less than the new one. It's just common sense. On top of that, the batteries, because these batteries are made out of lithium, okay? I think that's the word, right? Lithium is what it's made of. The answer is they tend to basically degrade. The cycles tend to run out, which basically means you get lower battery every single year, which is not good. It degrades over time, which basically means we're gonna you get to buy things at a discount. So now, how can we exploit this? Well, before I get to that, there is something positive I do want to say about phones. The cool thing is that it used to be, it felt like you either had an iPhone or you had what do you call those phones? They're so old. A BlackBerry, or you had like a Nokia. That's how it used to be, right? It felt like iPhone was so advanced that every single phone out there was just miles behind. But today, you can buy a relatively cheap phone, like a very budget phone, and it's still solid. Solid camera for like $200, solid camera, solid like processing and power, whatever. The answer is pretty solid device to do everything you need to do on a daily basis, including a good battery life. But overall, I'm not asking you guys to buy these, like, you know, like these other phones. I'm asking you guys to buy the nice phones, but for a cheap price. So here is the strategy, guys, okay? So what you want to do is this, okay? You want to understand that just like cars, whenever you buy the last year model, you tend to save a lot of money. And there's also a depreciation curve when it comes to phones overall. Meaning that when you take a look at, for example, the iPhone 14, the 13, the 12, and also the 11, you will see various different price marks. And overall, you won't see really crazy advances in technology. That's why every single year when they do one of those like presentations, they say, hey, this one's faster by like 10, 20%, but is it worth another $1,000? The answer is probably not. So whenever you're buying a device that's like 3 years old, it's not like you're getting something that's like so slow. It's not really that. It's just like you're getting something that's old news in a sense. So you have to, you can basically save a ton of money. So here is the price comparison. So right now, if you want to buy an iPhone 14 Pro, you get it for like around $1,000. If you want to buy the 13 Pro Max, you can get it for like around $875. The iPhone 12 Pro Max, you can actually get it for $640. The 11 Pro Max, you can get it for $350. That is a massive difference. So off the bat, just by buying the previous generation, I'm saving like around $125. Then I'm saving like around like 60 plus 200. That's around 260. Like you get to save a lot more money. So this basically means just by looking back 3 generations, you can save between 20 to 70% on your money. The performance is still fine. The camera is still fine. The device overall is fine. And one of the crazy thing is, okay, people are always worried about the battery life and performance. Overall, a battery costs like $40, $50. Maybe let's say like $70, okay? You pay $70 for a genuine battery, whatever it is, you replace it, boom. Like you still save like 70 to 60% on an actual device. So my point is, okay, when you take a look at what you're actually buying, ask yourself these questions. You know, if you want to be a camera person, the answer is with the money you're saving, you can get a very nice DSLR camera. And overall, the phone is still built in a way where if you buy the iPhone 11 Pro Max, you're still getting a solid phone, okay? A very solid phone. So overall, if I were to go back and say like, hey, if this wasn't a debt-free purchase, I probably would have gone, for example, if I'm being honest with you guys, I probably would have gone with the 11 Pro Max and got it for like around $350, probably like $300 on the streets, okay? Because I'm like that. Or getting like an iPhone 12 Pro and getting like for a really good discount, okay? So you don't need to buy the flagship because the flagship, the new phone that's brand new, the answer is it's not that much better than 3 generations ago. It's just different. They make the thing here and it's no longer like here. It's no big deal overall. Although it's OLED, it's a nice phone, I get it, okay, but you don't need to spend that much money on a phone. Now, the crazy thing is that the depreciation curve is even crazier for Android devices. So right now, one of the hottest phones when it comes to Android is probably going to be the Samsung Galaxies. Now, believe it or not, one of the first phones that I actually bought was actually a Galaxy S7, and I paid like around $750 for it, brand new. Very stupid idea. I don't know what I was thinking, but that's what I'm telling you guys, okay? That's why I'm making this video, because if you're buying a new phone, you're stupid, okay? You don't need to do that. I did it because it was like a gift in a sense, right? But it's like this one-time thing. The next one I buy, there's no way it's gonna be brand new. It's pretty stupid to actually do that. I'm probably gonna use this phone for years to come, okay? But here's the crazy thing. If you go ahead and you look back a few generations when it comes to the actual Galaxy, you look at, for example, the S22 Ultra right now costs about $1,000. That's like a brand new phone, just came out, 15 cameras in the back. Just kidding, I think it's around like 5, kind of crazy still. But like, I think like 5 cameras in the back, which is crazy. But if you look back to the S21, which is basically the last year generation, you get it for $400. That is 60% discount. That's awesome. On top of that, look at the S20, okay, you get it for $200 to $250. I'm talking about like 80% to 75% off, just 2 phones behind. And don't tell me they made this massive leap over 2 years. The answer is no, they really didn't, okay? It's not that different. And then if you look back even further at the S10, which by the way, they jumped from the S10 to the S20. I don't know why, kind of like the iPhone X, they skipped 9 and went straight to the X, kind of crazy. It's a cool name, don't get me wrong. But it's like, okay, all right, whatever, okay? But you can actually get the S10 for like around $160. That means you can get a discount between 85%, okay, in the first like 5 years or 3 years, 3 generations of a phone. And they're still decent phones. And I get it, okay? When it comes to Android, they stop giving you updates and all this other stuff. But overall, to save $800 on a phone, that's $800 in your pocket for investing or for doing whatever you absolutely want to do. I don't think you actually need to spend that money on a phone. So overall, if you're asking me, Tommy, you're a hypocrite because you have an iPhone and all this stuff. The answer is, again, this was a gift to myself in a sense. I'm going to keep this phone for the next 3 to 5 years. When I buy my next phone, I'm gonna probably buy like a used phone for a pretty good price, and I'm probably gonna sell this one or give it away within the family, okay? So that's basically it. I'm not really that worried about these things, okay? I used to buy phones with cracked screens, with messed up batteries, because overall, it's a device. I don't see anyone saying, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna throw away my car because it has a flat tire or the battery went out. It's just, you just expect it, right? Wear and tear. So if you have a phone with a cracked screen, you replace it. You have a phone with a bad battery, you replace it. Now, if you have a phone that's not functioning, then you think about upgrading it, okay? But get the old cool phone for a massive discount. iPhones tend to retain value a little longer. Androids just suck at it for some reason. So you might as well just get, for example, potentially I like iPhone. I'm not gonna switch, okay? But if I was a smart person, which sometimes I'm not in every single thing, I'm being honest here, just my preference, iPhone. But it's not like it's a difference at all. It's just still a phone, still does the same thing, just prefer iPhone. But if I were a smart person, get an Android. Last generation, I can get it for like a 70% discount. That's a massive difference. And it's not that different as far as like technology. So that is it. That's my advice to you. Comment down below phone so you made it all the way to the video. And by the way, whenever I'm buying a new phone, new to me, I check eBay for the overall price, and then I go ahead and I check, for example, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and just people around me. And I try to get it for below what it's selling for, okay? That's what I try to do. I negotiate, I compare prices, I shop around, and then I buy. And whenever I'm meeting someone, I always meet them in the late time. What? In the late time? In the date. It's like a vampire, okay? In the daytime and in a safe place that has a lot of people, so this way you don't get robbed and get your, or let's just stop there, okay? But that is it for this video. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified, comment down below any questions. Up here is another video. Over here is my Facebook, subscribe. And as always, long-term team out, and don't fall for this T-Mobile stuff with a new phone, 24 months, you pay it off, la la la. Don't fall for this whole thing, okay? It's stupid. Just get it yourself, a phone for cash, $200, $150. You're good to go. It's solid. Same thing, same camera. You don't have to be a photographer, okay? Peace out. Peace. There you go. Peace.